Alright, hello. In this new week that is starting, I hope you are doing good and are motivated. I am not so much, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. So today might be just 2 to 3 hours. I don't know. I didn't really take a break during the weekend, and I feel like I am suffering the consequences now in terms of motivation. And yeah, so that's something to think about when you just want to push through and not take a break, but in the end, you know, on the long run, it kind of depletes your ability to keep going. So sometimes it may not be um, worth it. Anyways, also there is the new Elden Ring DLC, which kinda is distracting me. Kinda want to play some more, even though the game is extremely hard and punishing. And I must say, the fucking lion really pissed me off yesterday. You know what? No one cares about Unreal right now, so I'm not gonna restart for this. And besides, are we going to code today? I'm not even sure. Because we have considerations of design first and foremost. Um, so what is it that we need to figure out now? So let's see what we have. So we have a ship. It's got some stats and it's got some modifiers. Stat modifiers. So basically for any stat name, we can get a base value and we can apply some modifiers, either flat or multipliers. And we can also apply the modifiers of whatever slot the module is in. And finally, the ship module itself should be able to have stats as well, I think. And that's kind of where yeah, that's kind of where we need to decide what to do. Because basically I was doing this here. Sorry. Mm. Yeah, and so it became apparent that some stuff would be decided by the module itself. Like, for example, for example, a machine gun is going to start with a higher fire rate and a larger number of projectiles counts. especially for the projectiles count on the ship. Maybe we will have a bonus. But the way that we would do this then, I guess, would be just to add a flat modifier to the projectiles count. That way, when you ask for the projectiles count here, if the ship has a flat, let's say, +1, then you will get your extra projectile. But the main stat is going to come from this here. And that means that this stuff needs to be transferred over here. Yeah, so the module itself is going to have its own statistics. But they would come from the asset. Question is, should I separate this? Yeah, right now it's like the utility only have the base stat, and the weapons also have a damage type stats, but which means in any case both of them have the base stats. Although I don't really need base stats for utility, do I? Hmm. So far, I don't think so. Well, I think it would be okay to just move all of this stuff to the ship module asset class. And I guess it would work in a way that if the stat is not defined on the module, then it would take the one from the ship. Because there's some stuff that I need to be specific to each weapon. And I don't know, like one of the main differences, I guess, between the railgun and the machine gun, although they are both projectile weapons, is that, well, the railgun has Pierce by default. It's got a much longer reloading time. And all of these are really projectile properties. Hmm. What this thing also has a bit more stuff. Like it's got like auto M, mouse M, or maybe like we should have an M type or some. Yeah, just do M type. Mm. And I guess if it's aiming at the closest enemy, for example, you will have like a tracking speed or something like that. I mean, the thing is, there would be an example of a stat that would be translated to different, that could be translated to different things. Like, for example, you could have targeting speed, and that would mean different things for the machine gun, which is its M speed is going to be turning the weapon towards the enemy, and so that's the turn speed of the turret. But for missiles, instead it's going to be the turn speed of the projectile. And so I guess this is where it's good to have potentially subclasses of this even that will have different behaviors. Mm, 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 mm. I kind of wonder, like, do I want like ship module sets to define most of what's gonna happen? I kind of feel like no, because in the end it's much more flexible if I just decide what happens in code here. Mm. Because here it forces to have like damage type stat ratios and all this weird stuff. When we could just say like get the stat and like multiply by 10% and that's it. Yeah, something fire lines can be very different between weapons. Like, for example, the swarm missiles will start with like 8 fire line or something like that. And that is definitely something that lives on the module itself. It's a property of the weapon. Mm. And so yeah, same thing on the ship. Like you could have some additional fire lines, but they would have to be added by a flat stat modifier. So you would say like fire lines +1. And that works, that works. Yeah, we also need to add a projectile. So mm, that means we want a reloading time on the assets. The scale would default to 1. But yeah, basically, but of course it could be modified. Mm, it might be modified like ship-wide, like all your projectiles are getting larger. But I'm thinking also maybe I'm gonna want to have upgrades that target a specific module. How would I do that then? I think the modules need to have some kind of tagging system. And yeah, I would check for the tags. Like for example, you have say you want to have an upgrade that's going to increase um so all projectiles would be in the ship. It would apply to everything that is projectile module, projectile weapon. But if we want to do, like, for example, all machine gun projectiles get larger or faster or anything like that, then we would need to say. Hmm, so it would be an upgrade. Yeah, so right now we just have modifiers, and we just apply the modifiers, right? Into the chip. And if I wanted to do that, then you need to have some kind of condition of whether this is going to apply or not. So what would we do? Should we call like the upgrade on every module, I guess. We could do that. We could get some tags and check what the tags are. And if the tags match, then we do the change. And which means I kind of don't like to have this stuff then. Because instead what I want is to have an upgrade. And that would be like ship. So let's say this is like global. There would be a ship that modifiers that add ship that modifiers that add, and I guess we'll do like stat modifiers rarity. That would be something like this. So that would be a global fire rate upgrade. But let me select the whole thing, goddammit. Okay, whatever. So that would be ship that layout that slots would be like for each slots and ship that layout that slots module slot that plugged in module. And then we'd say if module that tags that contains let's say so if we want to be very specific, then we can do this. So only MGs, only machine guns, but we could also do only only kinetic, do if module that tags that contains kinetic, and we could do also only projectiles. And we'd have like if module that tags that contains projectile. Okay, I kind of like that. Mm. I feel like I would like to have a hmm. Mm. To module, I guess. So this would return a boolean. So we could return like a module that tags that contains something. And then the grade would be well, it would be the code below, but it would be using is applied to module instead. Mm. Yes, we could have a is applied to ship, and we pass the ship in, and like if we only want it to apply to modules, we just return false. And we could also do the opposite, like return false and here return true. That it only applies to the ship and it doesn't care about the ship. And so we do like is if is applied to ship. We have access to the ship instance, it's a singleton, so that's fine. Then we do ship that modifiers. Remember, this is also a stat name stat modifier array here. So basically, what we need to do is stat modifiers rarity. Mm-mm-mm. Should I put this directly on the upgrade asset instead? I mean, it is there, but yeah, I guess like we could have it like this. Because that modifier is supposed to know what stat it's changing. And yeah, of course, this whole thing here is actually supposed to be here. I mean, kinda. Not really. Alright. Basically here I want it to be abstract. So that it forces the child to define it. Bool is applied to ship. And the upgrade, however, would live in here. And it would be like if is applied to ship that modifiers I mean, we should have Actually, you know what? We should have a function that takes a stat modifiers array. And so what we would pass in this would be, yeah, it would be a stat modifiers rarity. And we can even say and we do also if is applied to module. It's applied to module, then we do ship that layout that slots. So slots in layers the slots, and we do slot that add, slot that modifiers that add applied modifiers. Wait, no. Wait, no. No, then we do the for each, and then shit. And then we do if is applied. Because, yeah, remember this? This will also take a ship, actually. Wow. Does it really need to... I guess this is an instance, so... Here we'll pass slot.module. And so actually it's gonna be slot.modules that modifiers.add applied modifiers. So that assumes that we have modules on, that we have modifiers on the modules themselves. It's a bit of a problem, actually. Because the thing is, if I disconnect a module, replace it with something else, we're gonna lose those modifications. And that's not good. So I guess I could add it to the slots. But no, because it's a question of what module is in there. And so, okay, so this is where the declarative approach would have an advantage then, because we'll always be able to calculate the proper value. Otherwise, we would have to manually make sure that when a module is disconnected, I'm not sure I like that. It makes things really finicky, unreliable, error prone. Because basically, if I want it to work like this, then I could call upgrade again. Mm. And we're going to keep track of which upgrades we are. We'll have to reapply all upgrades. Because it would mean like we'd also do ship that upgrades that add this. And when the module gets installed, I have to say it would have to reapply. Upgrades that apply to it, basically. It'd be something like for each upgrade in ship that upgrades. We can't call upgrades because it's going to do it for every. Yeah, every module. I mean, we could just have an upgrade. Shit. Upgrade module. And in here we do if is applied to module, then it would have to know this, right? Like, I'm on the upgrade asset here. That's not good. Because I'm doing this as if it was an upgrade base class. And this will have the same stuff. But it's gonna have its rarity, and I guess then basically when we are gonna instantiate it, we're gonna roll the rarity, I suppose. And so we'll just have a stat modifiers array instead. Yeah, none of this needs to live here. And I guess all this is given by the upgraded set. Mm. Yeah, I guess when we're gonna create it, we're going to roll the rarity. Yes, so this is completely wrong actually. Why the fuck do I have this here? It's supposed to be like this. But I guess this is gonna have its own upgrade class as well. So that we can go and instantiate the proper thing here. Uh, yeah, all this stuff is going to be. Oh my god. All this stuff is going to be on the parent class. Does it not let me get the whole thing here? Hey, Just Sophie, how's it going? Mm, I guess I will want a property here, like it's gonna be called apply modify years, and it would return stat modify years rarity. Code in Miro, yeah, pretty much. trying to um, design the UML for the whole system, so that's why. But I'm trying also to like make sure everything works together, you know, so I take the time to write some pseudocode so that I make sure I have everything that I need to that everything works together, you know, like and that the design will actually work in code, you know. Because the problem when you do UML like this is always like you think something in your head, and but you think it globally, and you don't really think about the code that you're gonna need. And so when you start implementing it, you're like, oh shit, but I don't have this, and then you just realize, well, your system just doesn't work, right? Hey Jen, how's it going? Yeah, UML has been a while for me too. Like, I mean, I don't even know like when is the last time that I've been doing UML. But here, like, the system is it has so many moving parts that I really need some place, you know, some kind of drawing board to put everything, to lay everything out, because otherwise I lose my mind trying to figure it out, you know. All right. So okay. So one thing that we don't have is this tag stuff. Mm, but that shouldn't come. I mean, this is going to have it, but through the ship module assets. So really, it needs to live on here. It would be like stuff like a weapon, projectile, kinetic, etc. I'll have a fun stream. Thank you. Great things. How are you? Uh, I am a bit annoyed at the fact that I am still trying to figure this system out, but it is what it is, you know. Also, I feel like doing 10 hours of stream on Saturday wasn't the best way to rest for this week. And yep. Yep, it is what it is. The system is like, it's probably like the third time that I designed this fucking system. And it's always a pain. I mean, this one is the most complicated because it has the modules and the shipbuilding. But it was already a pain in the ass to do it with just the stats. But when you add like the ship modules, the slots, and like, well, basically this a whole part here makes it mm, But yeah, I mean, we're not that far though to get something that should be working. I might get into the code not in not too long because I feel like yeah, at this point, I guess it's kind of diminishing returns, I guess, to keep writing this stuff in here. We have a decent map of what's going on. I guess there's still a bit of confusion as to how this stuff works. Because yeah, I do need some stats to be independent. They need to be per weapon. And yeah, that's what this would achieve. Um, pa, 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 pa. But it does mean it does mean, if not defined, this needs to when not defined, return ship stats, I guess. Yeah, lots of fun. I guess I should do this so that we always return like stat objects. Or maybe not. It would be good. I think it would be good though. So for example, here. Yeah, for example, we have this here. So we take the base fire lines from the weapon. And we'd pass the ship modifiers and slot modifiers. That would give us a final value, right? But of course that doesn't take into account the fact that we can be modifying module modifiers as well. Because the upgrades are now changing a module's modifiers. Yeah. Okay, so I never finished this actually. Applied modifiers. No, that's the damn it. Yeah, also has the fire rate, so Right. I forgot I was dealing with this bullshit also because. Mm, yeah, so we'd have to reapply them here. Like. Yep. Yes, we'll have to do this. Hmm. And also, this cannot live in here. Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is. I can't do this. Because all the stats need to be loaded on the module itself. Um, so am I actually going to do this way? I mean, it's not that bad, I guess. Because, like, having stuff declarative also has. I mean, of course, in terms of code reliability, it's much better, like, it's much less error prone. Because you would always be able to calculate the proper values from the data that you have that from your states. But um, it also means recalculating everything every time from the whole states. Although it could be memorized, which would yeah, I mean, could be memorized or it could be cached in some way, and caching is going to be just as bad as uh, keeping stuff up to date manually. So mm, the advantage though is mm, I will always have the full state, and I would always be able to display anything that I need to in the UI. Mm. Because how would it work in this kind of declarative thing? Mm. It can't really work, right? You just need to reapply them. There's kind of no way around it. Oh, I feel like maybe this system is a bit weird. First of all, this needs to live on here. Damn it. Always have this reflex of pressing Ctrl S all the time. Mm. Hmm. Would be interesting if I don't really have a class for the stat containers yet. I kind of want that. It would be much better if I was writing this like this. Just keep it consistent. Maybe we could actually put this stuff in here as well. Shit. So this would have another stat container inside. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Wait, why do we have a damage type stat? Like, at least it should have a damage type. Mm. Should I do it actually so that a stat can be damage typed? Hmm. Instead of having two types for this. That could be better. None or damage type. And so we'd have a is damage typed and we'd return Mm, probably don't want another stats container in there. Just have another dict of stat name to stats. I don't know. Because the thing is, the stats container knows how to maybe it shouldn't know how to do this. I feel like this is making things really hard to understand. And then I guess we do get modified. Shit. Get modified stats. You would pass your stat and a bunch of modifiers. And yeah, this would be like stat modifiers, stat modifier containers. I kind of want a class to abstract the whole thing away. But I'm not sure if it's going to work well with the flat modifiers, since I want them to be applied first. Because here we would have to yes, you know what, we could have a simpler API here if I do damage type, and by default it would be none. That would be better, in my opinion. We don't have... We only have 2 methods to get our stuff. Question is, do we even need flat modifiers though? Technically, we could just increment the base stat, but... So here would be doing like if damage type not known would return damage typed stats, damage type, that get stat name. Mm. So, otherwise we would do the normal one. So, Mm, I guess we could have this in game constants actually. Oh. It would be easier if this is just the same container, like just do get that name. Mm, but maybe we want defaults to be different in that case. We want damage typed defaults as well, probably. If default exists. Mm-hmm. Oh my fucking god. I don't think we want to do it like this. I guess. This thing is becoming quite a monster. Mm. But yeah, of course, I'm writing code in fucking Miro. And yeah, I, of course, if you're writing proper documentation, you don't want to do this. I think it's helpful to figure it out. So we wouldn't have this. No, no. Damn it. Mm. I have to do in the opposite way. Okay, what? Yeah, that's because I need to change this one. And we're gonna want to do something similar with the stat modifiers. Oh. All right. Why is it not yet 2 hours actually? All right. So we have 20 minutes to figure out the modifiers. Mm. Mm. Which brings up the question of whether we need flat modifiers again. Mm. Maybe. Maybe I could do it so that a stat would be able to calculate its modified value from a list of modifiers. Hmm. You'd have something like get flight modifier value and modifiers. Get mult modified value. A whole bunch of modifiers and when you call this, what you would do is first get the base stats. Let's get base stats. So that name and damage instead that damage type, I guess. And then get the base stat. Yeah. So flat. Let's call this modified flat. Which would be base stat that gets flat modified value. And pass a stat modifier containers in here. And modifier would be I need to do a new stat then. Yeah, I would need a new stat in that case. Mm. I think there's still some value in having the modifiers able to calculate their own flat value. It would be a lot easier to calculate this by doing with like flat modifier would be like for each stat modifier container just add it to flat mode basically. For each stat modifier container. Yeah, that would be easier, I think. So initialize this to 0. And we have the same for the molds. Initialize it to 1. Oh, we could do 0 also. Just go with 1. Get molds. Yes. And here we just return our base stat value plus the flat mod. Right. So we would return flat val times molds. Yeah, guess that works. I'm wondering if I could have this thing holding a reference to the modifiers that are applied. Wait, that's a bit too crazy though. It's just better to just pass it through. Because basically, like this stat container here on the ship. So actually we can change this and get rid of all of this. And we would just have a stats container and a modifiers container. And so when I'm going to get any stat from here, it would return stats container that get modified value. Get modified stat. Stat name. A bunch of modifiers. Well, basically, it would pass a list of its own modifiers. And I guess whatever was passed in as well. So here would be same. Not really. This just has modifiers. Doesn't have stats for itself, but here. What the fuck? What's this like? This would be. This would have its own stats container to define its own stats, but so what I wanted to do was that if something is not defined in here, it would go and get the stats from a different container, maybe. So, for example, the ship one. So maybe here we would have a fallback fallback stats container. And maybe we do else if fallback has stats, then we return that instead. Maybe. Do I even need this? I don't know anymore. Alright, so it's been 2 hours, so it's gonna be time to take a break for me. And I have some bullshit to handle, of course. There's always some bullshit to handle, right? So I guess it's gonna be a 2 to 3 hours break, and yeah, then we'll come back to this and see if it still makes sense. Alright, so see you in a few hours.